3.5 million files, and it is incredible. Huge bombshells about some of the most powerful people on the planet. I can't believe they let some of this stuff out. I mean, it is stunning. Honestly, one of the biggest lies we've seen is the idea that the FBI could possibly come to us and say, not only is there not a client list, there was no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals. Guys, we're about to see planned blackmail to one of the most powerful people on the planet, and that is Bill Gates. Listen, there's a lot we're gonna get to, but we have to start with probably the craziest revelation here, which is Jeffrey Epstein emailing himself about Bill Gates. Now, if you don't know, Bill Gates and Epstein had a relationship post 2008. That's a big year. You're gonna hear a lot today, because 2008 was the time that Epstein pled guilty for soliciting of somebody under the age of 18. He was a predator at this point. Everybody knew it. Now, eventually, Bill Gates would get divorced when all of this came out. Melinda Gates said it was part of the direct cause for the divorce. She said she met Epstein and said he was evil.
He was evil personified.
So you have to understand, this is like Bill Gates' kryptonite. He's one of the richest men on the planet. He's got this huge philanthropy arm. But this relationship with Epstein has been a huge problem for him. And Epstein appears to have known that, because in 2013, Bill Gates appears to be distancing himself from Jeffrey Epstein, and Epstein seems to have a problem with that. He says, I assume the dedication to our relation went both ways. Larry has now asked me to recommit to a confidentiality agreement. Basically, he's got to shut up about his relationship with Bill Gates. And this is where the blackmail starts, and it comes in the form of like, if I were you, I would do X if I were the type of guy that you should be. He says, in that regard, I suggest I buy you the house that you had your heart set on. In addition to 5 years of severance, we'll buy you out of the investment contract we agreed upon, 30 to 40% of an $100 million partnership for $30 million in today's terms. That's what I would have done had I been in your shoes. Then he lays out what he has on Bill Gates, or what he says he has. Quote, to add insult to injury, you subsequently, with tears in your eyes, implore me to delete the emails I had regarding your STD. Your request that I provide you antibiotics that you could surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your I mean, this is insane. It's completely insane. It's like basically laying out text form. I would give me millions of dollars, and I can't believe you're asking me to delete the message where you were going to give STD medication to your wife without her knowledge.
Unknowingly?
I mean, it's complete. It's crazy. It's just completely obvious what he's doing here. It's just a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Here's what you should do. But now that coming out after Epstein's death, this looks really bad for Gates, obviously, because you usually wouldn't blackmail somebody for something that's completely false or fake. I mean, maybe he did that. But we also know Bill Gates had affairs. Obviously, Melinda credits it for their divorce. So it's hard to believe there was nothing sketchy going on. I mean, Bill Gates, of course, maintains that it was completely above board. He says the fact this allegation was in here just shows how much Epstein was willing to defame people. But Epstein lays it out. He says he helped Bill get drugs in order to deal with the consequences of sex with Russian girls, facilitating his illicit trysts with married women, and to being asked to provide Adderall for bridge tournaments. Look, guys, this is
for bridge tournaments? What?
And to being asked to provide Adderall for bridge tournaments. Look, guys, this is exactly what we suspected the whole time. Epstein was providing services to rich people.
Guys, it's some like retirement home fucking card game for old people. I mean, they want to Adderall Smurf on fucking oldies. This is insane.
And expecting payment via blackmail. Now you might say, and it's true that we don't know that Epstein ultimately sent that version of an email to Gates. All we know is he sent that to himself. He may have
Guys, my grandma used to play bridge. She would go downstairs and then she would host tournaments of bridge, okay? And she would clean out all the other old people, okay? And she would have this fucking pocket full of coins. It was so fucking heavy. She fleeced everybody.
And the blackmail and just been drafting something. But what we do know are two things. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Gates was threatened by Epstein
far as I know.
over an affair. We also know that after this blackmail email Jeffrey sent to himself was written, eventually Gates sent a $2 million donation to MIT directed by Jeffrey Epstein, which is a bit weird if...
What?
To MIT directed by Jeffrey Epstein, which is a bit weird if you had distanced yourself from the guy and y'all had this big falling out. Now again, do we know for sure that Bill Gates did all of that? No, of course we don't. But do I think Bill Gates was innocently looking for charity advice from a after he already pled guilty? No, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm not that gullible. And speaking of not that gullible, We've been lied to also by another richest guy on the planet.
How does one guy have a web of manipulation that's so elaborate like this to that many people? And did these elites not talk to one another and say this guy is fucking weird? Like you'll invite you to his shit, and then use the thing as blackmail, and then you blackmail a buddy? It's crazy to me.
Shock why they don't want to put this out. Elon Musk.
Why is that saying Mossad? Why is that saying this?
Saying 4 years that it is a lie that he went to Epstein's island. In fact, he says he refused to go. From Elon, he says, Epstein tried to get me to go to his island. I refused. He says, anyone pushing this false narrative deserves complete contempt. Later responding to another headline which said Elon Musk planned trip to Epstein's private island. And he says, this is false. But of course, we start to dig through the files and we can see on Epstein's calendar that Elon Musk is booked in December 6th of 2014. But maybe you don't believe that. That's just the word of Jeffrey Epstein. But maybe you'll believe the word of Elon Musk, who was caught emailing Jeffrey Epstein to go to his island post the guilty plea. Elon Musk writes, we'll be in BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays. Good time to visit. Jeffrey Epstein says, I will send a heli for you. Later, Elon Musk writes to Epstein.
That's no good.
Just to Lula and me, his ex-wife.
Buddy, that is no good. That is no good.
What day and night would be the wildest party on your island? The world's richest man is asking the most pedophile man for the wildest party on his island. And then it gets more explicit. In 2012, remember, this is the guy who said, I refused it. I could never do that, right? It's false. But here in 2012, he says, do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of my sanity this year. I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is
the party scene. Buddy, we're talking about some fucking privately owned island or some shit, no? Chat, St. Bart's, chat, this is privately owned, no? This isn't some, this is not some Ibiza, is it? No. Interesting. It's a party island. Interesting, actually. Maybe I was wrong then.
Much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for. Guys, he can't even play the I went to go study math excuse, which is what
that's the one under Friends.
They say, hey, I just went to go talk to scientists. Elon's like, hey, I don't want to do that. I'm looking for a party. That's what I'm here to do. And then
so Jeffrey
Epstein writes, understood, I will see you on St. Barth. The ratio on my island might make your ex-wife uncomfortable. I can't believe these guys are lying to us and people are swallowing it still, thinking that Elon Musk had nothing to do with this guy. So again, that's 2012. That's 2014. But guess what?
This weird billionaire flex. Dude, on my island we got this. Oh, your island is this. Should see what we got on my island.
There's another
what the
time
fuck is
in
this?
2013. I mean, this seems like a yearly thing with the boys. Here, once again, Elon Musk writes, we'll be in the BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays. Again, is there a good time to visit? Jeffrey Epstein, any day, 1st to the 8th. Play it by ear if you want. Always space for you. They then plan some more, and you might think, well, if Elon ever told the truth, this is when he has to reject, right? Because he said, I refused. But actually, it appears to be one of those cases where, like, your friend says, like, oh, bro, I dumped her. And actually, it was the other way. Yeah, it turns out Elon didn't dump the The dumped Elon. He says, bad news. Unfortunately, my schedule will keep me in New York. Hopefully, we can schedule another time in the future. Jeffrey Epstein let Elon down. That's actually the real story. Is the reason he didn't go in 2013 was because he couldn't go. Jeffrey Epstein was not there. Guys, I mean, how blatant do they have to make it before we start to just see through it, right? When they issue these ridiculous denials.
So why was Elon trying to say, oh, these guys are on it, blah, 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 blah. Both that he's not on it, and he's as, if not more on it than some other guys, and then caught lying.
They're totally associated with the guy after the guilty
plea.
They lie through their teeth, but they can't even keep their story straight. I mean, that's what's crazy. They're not even competent at this. They get caught in their own lies all the time. Remember, the FBI's official story was they didn't blackmail. Well, before we even had these files, Howard Lutnick was on the record calling Jeffrey Epstein the greatest blackmailer ever.
So how come Bill Gates and all these...
Well, I mean, you can say it's cherry-picked, but I don't think you can make this look good in any context. Like, it doesn't matter. In any context, it's bad. I don't know unless you were LARPing as somebody else. Like, come on, bro.
other people
Come on, man. Really?
could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
No, they participated.
right.
That's what his MO was, you know, get a massage, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
Interesting. Okay, so Howard has a different perspective. Now, if you don't know, that guy, do you think he's just telling the truth there? Even this guy who's contradicting the official narrative, this guy literally lived next to Jeffrey Epstein. This guy was like, I'm gonna tell the truth. Those guys participated. That guy lived next to Jeffrey Epstein. And by the way, he lied too. I love this video we're about to get into because this guy, Mr. He's the greatest blackmailer ever, does he know something we don't know? Because
Also, let's be honest. What if you would have just put a fucking camera on your property that, I don't know, overlooks the street or the other side of your shit that overlaps or whatever? And then, I mean, you would have fucking data. You would have fucking shit like crazy, no? I mean, people bring cameras that point at the front that overlap a little bit.
it's interesting, Mr. I'm his neighbor had to also explain how he had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And he lays it out pretty simply. He goes, yep, I
How this isn't showing the emails where Elon himself declines to go? Yeah, but that doesn't matter though. You can say you're gonna go and you're interested in 5 emails and then decline to go 10 times. The interest is still there, and the fact that you think that, oh guys, we never did this, we never talked about this. Come on, bro, this is wrong. That would be wrong, man.
But in 2005, I had such a horrible experience that I knew I could never talk to him again.
He was your neighbor for 10 years. How well did you know him?
We move in 2000.
He doesn't live on the island.
Okay.
Oh.
Jeffrey Epstein is arrested in like 08, I think, or something like that.
Right.
So knock on the door. His assistant on like a Saturday says, Mr. Epstein, your neighbor would like to invite you over for coffee. And there's a massage table in the middle of the room. Massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he like gets like weirdly close to me. And he says, and the right kind of massage. Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
Well, he couldn't be more clear, could he, right? He says, hey, I may have been his next door neighbor, but I met him once before the 2008 guilty plea. Remember I said that was a big deal. And we got him.
5 or 6 steps, buddy. If you live that close to somebody, okay, without being a weirdo, you kind of know what the fuck is happening on a weekly basis at that house. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Yo, I live in the real world. I live close to other people. Yo, you know that when they have a party, if it's mostly parents with their children type of party, is it only adults party? Is it adolescents? You just know because of the noises that, even though you're just living your life, like.
Invited over, and it was like 5 seconds, and we left, and we realized he was a creep. We were out of there. He made this rude, lewd comment in front of my wife. I would never go see this guy. I mean, he makes it super clear he's gross.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
These other guys, they may have participated.
They participated.
But Howard Lutnick, he could never. No, he's too good of a guy. Well, guess what we found in the old emails? Looky. It's Howard Lutnick writing in to Jeffy Boy in 2012. Hi, Jeff. We're landing in St. Thomas early afternoon, planning to head over. Where are you located? What's the exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? Is this the guy you said made a lewd comment to your wife and, oh, I could never be in front of him? He's gross. Guess what the next email is? My boy's wife messaging in, saying we're headed towards you in St. Thomas. Later, the subject line, Jeffrey Epstein. Good morning, Howard. Jeffrey wished me to pass you along. Nice seeing you. They clearly met, and the guy is just lying about it to your face.
Everyone aware that they were going to the party and then got blackmail started. Okay, yeah, well, even in that case though, these guys look bad because they deny everything. He's denied going to, wanting to go. These guys deny ever having contact. If you went to a party that was fine and you left at 7 p.m. or some shit with your fucking wife or whatever, right? And that's what actually happened. You'd go and say, make a statement and say, yeah, we went to that party. Yeah, we were, look, our boat left at fucking 8 p.m. or whatever the fuck. It was a normal party. Yeah, we went. But if you say, we don't even know, island what? Island what? And then you have pictures at the spot. I mean, bruh, I'm sorry, but you're cooked.
To the American public,
and people will assume the worst, and they
tried to hide
should,
it from us. I cannot emphasize this enough.
Because you lost credibility
through their teeth. You think this guy perfectly remembers a 2005, like walking in the guy's house? I remember exactly what I said to him. My wife and I looked at each other, and he wouldn't remember the 2012. I boated over to his private island for a dinner. Is that what we're really thinking? Is that what we're expected to believe? This is a momentary lapse in his judgment. No, these guys don't even care about being consistent. And they're all throwing each other under the bus.
The guy was already convicted too at that point,
Don't
no?
you remember Elon Musk saying, the time to drop the really big bomb, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they haven't been made public. My guy,
Bro, he actually wrote, mark this post for the future. Okay, the future has arrived. Buddy, you're cooked.
Is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they haven't been made public. My guy,
buddy, you're both cooked.
You also are in the Epstein files, very clearly doing stuff you lied about. Okay, so is
the
Howard
future
Lutnick,
is here.
who says, yeah, Bill Gates, he's probably getting blackmailed.
Bro, somebody should retweet his own shit and say the future has arrived, buddy.
Because he participated. What did you do on the island?
The future has arrived with the picture.
Do we know that?
Of the thing.
Does anyone care?
That is a good tweet. Oh, he deleted it. Oh, okay. Well, that's fucking lame.
Now, the last thing I want to talk about is some of the most explosive stuff. It's also, again, I have to say, unverified, okay? This is the NTOC, the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. And the challenge with confirming some of this is that these are anonymous tips, or they black them out at least, so we don't know who they are, and anyone can drop a tip. Now, that doesn't mean that you should disregard them. It just means we can't verify them. The other challenge is that the FBI has a heavy incentive to discredit anything with Donald Trump in it, just because he's in the White House right now, obviously. And so I want to be clear, there are notes related to some of these submissions where they say things like complainant was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate redacted. You know, it's hard to tell how much this is the proper due diligence of the FBI, which they should be doing, of course, and not all complaints are credible. But also there's this obvious conflict of interest with the fact that the sitting president is in some of these complaints. But here they are for what it's worth.
I understand it's a conflict of interest, but I don't think you'd be able to really, validify that. Let's keep it a buck. Because if the guy's at the top, everything at the bottom would be a conflict of interest. I mean, it's GG. I'm just saying, there's no real third party at that point because it's the president. He's at the top. That would always, anything under is conflict of interest. I mean, how else? How else?
Complaint summary. Blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey.
Well, I agree.
The friend
That's
told
it.
Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend also said she was abused by Epstein. Later, there's very explosive claims about big parties with her, other younger girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. There's claims third hand.
Dude, my problem is there's so many fucking people, Victoria's Secret models. How many people are part or have been there or are potential victims or non-participants but were there that aren't saying shit? Yo, why does these people say something?
Girls and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. There's claims third hand about a female victim of Epstein's who wants to publish a book citing Leslie Wexner, Epstein, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell is in the videos as well. And it goes on like this for a while. Some of the complaints are just very graphic, and obviously I'm going to censor out some of it. But I should also mention the DOJ claims that some of these claims were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false, and if they had any shred of credibility, they would have certainly been weaponized against President Trump already. Now, I agree that if a complaint is timed right before an election, there definitely could be some other motivations to that. But it's also ridiculous to say that anything in the Epstein files, if it were true, would have come out already. Because why didn't we see the stuff about Bill Gates, for example? I mean, that stuff apparently has been sitting in here for a long time. And not only did no one talk about it, the FBI literally covered for it. I mean, they said that this was not the case. There are big claims against a lot of powerful people. Nobody in that file really wants to rock the boat or release the files because then they get in trouble and their buddies get in trouble. And that's a huge problem. So I don't really buy the idea that, oh, if it were true, it would have already gotten.
Is there really nothing else to do when you go to the top and when you're a billionaire than to do this shit? This almost is a sad reflection back on the human social hierarchy. Like, these guys all get to the top, billionaire, whatever, and the first thing they do, dude, underage girls, weird ass massages and shit, and fucking sexual deviancy. And is there nothing else?
Out. I don't buy that. That's why we need transparency. That's why it's important these files are out. But this is just to look at a small fraction of the files. And over the next few weeks, we're going to go through all of the major findings we can from this 3.5.
When there's 67 complaints about Trump accusing him of child rape, it's crickets.
It's the crickets. It's the same, bro. It's the same one screenshot. Even him said, wait, we don't know if it's valid, and the word of the FBI might become a conflict of interest. It's a big we don't fucking know, dude. Like, the other shit, it's a slam dunk. Like,
500 million.
And yeah, the other shit about Trump is fucking egregious. And we covered that already. Just that one screenshot is just less.
But seriously, think about how discrediting this has been, not only to this administration.
Like I can't, what's my angle here? I don't give a fuck about fucking Donnie.
But to so many rich and powerful people who have lied through their teeth happily towards you in order to hide their relationship with this man that many of them held post-guilty plea. And some of them, now we know, Epstein prepared blackmail for them and, according to reports, threatened.
Awful. I mean, post-conviction shit is fucking insane. I mean, dude, what?
Pictures appearing to show Andrew Mountbatten Windsor crouched over an unidentified woman are featured in the latest disclosure of files linked to the late American sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The images are among more than 3 million.
180,000 images released are these pictures showing the then Prince Andrew kneeling over and touching a female whose identity has been hidden. There's no context, location or date provided. Andrew has always denied any criminal wrongdoing, but this latest batch of files...
Oh, hold on. Can I be honest with you? Earlier we saw the other picture. Looking at the hand...
not being a PDF impossible.
Chat, looking at the hand...
Can you shut up for
Hold on, it doesn't seem underage. So why are they blacking out the face? Now that I see a further close-up, this doesn't seem... Chad, this seems more, I would say, above 50. I would say this is a 45 plus a victim. But how do we know that, though?
There's no context, location or date provided. Andrew has always denied any criminal wrongdoing, but this latest batch of files once again contains items raising serious questions of judgment, not least an email exchange from 2010, long after his close friend Epstein had been convicted of sexual offences involving children, suggesting he meet with a 26-year-old Russian woman in London who he might enjoy having dinner with. Andrew replies he would be delighted to see her and adds...
Wait for what? What did I say? What did I was wrong? I don't get it.
Will she be bringing a message from you? Please give her my contact details to get in touch. Epstein writes back, she's 26, Russian, clever and beautiful, and yes, she has your email.
We will continue reducing...
The new files...
Okay, hold on. I don't know about that particular picture, but my concern for blacking out faces is valid. Because what if some of these pictures actually are not victims, but people that were part of those events, and they're just part of the files, and they could be blacked out, and then that will sneak them out. Dude, if you think about it, there were men and women that were involved in bad things All I'm saying is there's a potential second story here where some people were part of it and are being blacked out as, oh, victims when they were actually part of it. I understand that victims deserve privacy. Of course, I'm not fucking stupid about that. I always say, protect the victims. But in it, like,
also contained further revelations about Peter Mandelson, who last year lost his job as British ambassador to Washington after it became clear his friendship with Epstein had been deeper than previously known.
I mean, clear as day. Yo,
change topic.
Okay, Var, go ahead. Tell me how this is clear as day. As that is.
You already know this chat is retarded and just.
Go ahead. You say clear as day. What's clear as day?
They include the claim
that it's a child. Really? Is that what he said? I mean, I don't want to. This seems like weird, but I don't want to debunk this. But I mean, this is kind of incorrect. What? This is not the hand of a child. I'm gonna go ahead and take a wild guess and say, what? I'm sorry to analyze it, but I'll be honest with you. I don't think this is the hand of a child.
I'm guessing they have made the effort to identify and contact the people in these photos, so they can investigate and get the story from them to determine if they are victim or not.
Oh, they made the effort to identify in photos. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Donald Guy, but in other instances, they black out a lot of the people that are not victims. How many fucking redacted?
What you're talking about?
How much redaction are there that are not victims? A fuck ton. If somebody could find a plausible a way to get away with something, that's how you would do it. So I don't know, when you lose the trust of the people who watch your shit, okay, you lose their trust. So why should I take this as gospel? Because what? Because they said so in this one? Oh, because that one they said it. No, we lied about all the other ones, but this one is true.
X was there, he knows
I think
it
that being skeptical is perfectly okay.
Nor, his administration says, anything to prove a wider conspiracy. But with so many documents withheld or redacted. Jeffrey Epstein's victims...
They're passed out? Oh, I mean, I just saw the hand up and they were passed out, but...
Little, though, to pose a real threat to President Trump, apart from some unsubstantiated allegations which the FBI had already ruled out, nor, his administration says, anything to prove a wider conspiracy. But with so many documents withheld or redacted, Jeffrey Epstein's victims do not believe they've yet been given the whole
what
truth.
What you're talking about is what the FBI is supposed to do. Unfortunately, we can't
exactly.
trust them. The director wrote a kid's books about Trump being a king, LOL.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like the redactions are fucking cooked.
You don't have to be a kid to be sex trafficked, Doug.
Yeah, but no. You're ruining the couples. That's not what the discussion was. The discussion was...
She's laying there, appears drugged. He's hovering over her like some pedo freak. That's a fucking victim, you imbecile.
So, I mean, okay. Got it. Okay, then we need the FBI to hire you. You're clearly our superior being. From a picture with a blacked out motherfucking square and some visual clues, you cracked a fucking elaborate case of multiple crimes, multiple people, the way it's done, and the burden of proof is met, and you're the GOAT. You're the GOAT, my dude. You're the GOAT.
In November,
hire this guy immediately.
All the files need to be released. They haven't been released. So that's what closure looks like. That's what justice looks like, whether anyone's prosecuted or not. Get the full information out there so the public, the survivors, and everyone can really know what's going on.
With continuing calls for him to give evidence in America, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has yet to respond to the latest revelations, but he's always strenuously denied any wrongdoing.
John Sudworth.
Like this one.
Why would you assume it's not a child based on her hand? What if it
I'm
comes
not
out that it is an actual child later?
Nobody assumed.
You're just gonna make yourself look like an actual dumbass.
And assuming that it is also incorrect. Assuming that it is also incorrect. These are both incorrect. Like, I wish you understood that. The director of many films document appears in yearly release as related victims.
Wait, xQc, so if you accept that the DOJ can't be trusted, who is to blame for that? Why aren't you highly suspicious of
Themselves.
Trump, the little president?
No, themselves.
The DOJ and FBI are run by Trump yes men. Obviously they are hiding the files with Trump in it.
Yo, they've had this shit for multiple administrations. Blame all of them. I'm not even saying don't blame this guy. Blame all of them for all of the length that they've had it for. That's I'm pretty sure, nearly decades. I mean, you want to be the guy that says, oh, only blame Trump. No, I'm saying blame everybody. Like, the fact that you want to do this focal point on Trump is also incorrect. These are all bad. Yeah, what the fuck? It's not about being a centrist, it's just about not being a dumbass. Like, and not say I'm wrong. Like, I'm not gonna
assume that he's not a child just based off her hand. I can send you the clip if you want.
Dude.
Stop coping.
Dude. I said this person seems to be, it seems to me that the hand looks like somebody that is an older person. That is what it seems to me. And people say, oh dude, it's a child and they're passed out. Yeah, buddy, like, I'm giving you the alternative, at least the root idea.
Chat full of libtards, omega
that if you want to, let's say you want to fucking hide a perpetrator, you could do it like this.
Wants to blame
and they have, and they absolutely have. They've blacked out some people that were perpetrators as a potential victim. They absolutely have that in the past.
Well, the documents also include email correspondence between tech billionaire Elon Musk and Epstein. The new emails show that Musk, who's not been accused of any wrongdoing in the case, discussed travelling to Epstein's island on more than one occasion, including a 2012 trip where he asked Epstein what...
Okay, this guy says, hold on. No reason Epstein inner circle names to be redacted. Let's take a look. Where? Where? This one? Yeah, I mean, inner circle. Oh, let me guess. Victims too. I mean, let me guess. Everybody blacked out is victims too. Really? Is that, go ahead, say it. Say there's only, blacked out equals victim. Go ahead. No, see, now you see how assumption's bad. Like, not assumption, but, oh, it's automatically what I said is. No, I'm making some guess, and it's not some fucking set in stone fucking statement. You're just dumb. You're dumb. Just stop.
What day/night will be the wildest party on your island? There's no evidence that Mr. Musk ever did end up taking a trip to Epstein.
Even though both are stupid and get mad if you don't pick one.
Island.
Exactly.
Writing on X, he says, no one pushed harder than me to have the Epstein files released, and I'm glad that has finally happened. I had very little correspondence with Epstein and declined repeated invitations.
We don't know what the original files looked like. So the both sides-ism isn't fair.
Wow. Interesting. So they've had files for decades, right?
Difference is that
but when they are released, the bad redacts have to be all the dude. The fact this shit's been sitting there for fucking ever and nobody does anything is bad in of itself. You're wrong. They could have redacted this shit way back. You're making the full-on assumption that this was all censored and redacted now, but yo, come on, bruh. All still until late 2024. Late 2024. Who was in charge in late 2024? I don't know who that is.
To go to his island or fly on his lily.
So Biden was there. So then Biden then. Like
Express. was well aware that some email correspondence with
I
him
don't get it.
could be misinterpreted and used by detractors to smear my name. Well, Gloria Allred, a prominent civil rights attorney, represents many of Epstein's victims.
You're conspiracing this shit. I'm not conspiracing anything.
Wait, xQc, why is it that any Epstein files they accidentally release with Trump in them, the DOJ instantly deletes it hours later?
Awful!
Stop coping, lil bro, just admit you accidentally helped a PDF get elected.
Oh my god, yeah, it's the same regiment as the other guy from last time. It's the same guy.
She gave her reaction to the latest release.
It's the same regiment as last time.
Some of them are completely devastated by the fact that the Attorney General, the Department of Justice, was supposed to and indicated that they were redacting victims' names, the survivors' names. And yet, today, with the release of these more than 3 million files, many of the names of my clients who have been Jane Doe for many, many years were in fact published. And this is devastating to them, and we have to deal with that because, you know, they had little or no trust in the government. Now they have no trust in the government because the government has not earned that trust. And the Assistant Attorney General today, Todd Blanche, in his press conference said that he hopes that the release of the files will bring closure to the victims. This is ridiculous because they have devastated so many of these survivors by publicly releasing their names. At best, it was a sloppy job. At worst, it smacks of a cover-up.
At worst, it's absolutely fucking illegal and against all the fucking all the things that Congress and the people have asked and should have had. I mean,
with me is our correspondent John Sudworth. John, a number of questions from this, but first of all, the administration indicating this is the final batch. Is that likely to be the case?
That's what they're saying, that they have complied with the law, which was that they release all relevant files except for a few exceptions for legal reasons or to protect the identities of the victims. But they say this is pretty much it. What's interesting, Geeta, I think in some ways this story is now playing bigger in the US.
No, when it's not to protect the victims, it's do this, do that, do that, do that, whatever. Oh, we made a mistake, that shit happens. When it's protected to some of the fucking mother suckers like the inner circle guys, it's holy fuck. Everybody lock in, bang, 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 fucking laser sharp focus. Fuck that shit, man. What a waste of everybody's time, seriously.
Some US news sites I noticed not even leading on this story this morning, and I think that's, of course, because of the involvement of people like Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, Peter Mandelson, etc. There are, of course, other high-profile American figures caught up in this latest batch of documents. Microsoft founder Bill Gates, for example, in what looks like an email that wasn't sent, written by Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't get it, though. Chat. 180,000 images released, and there's only I've only seen like 10 of them on social media. There's got to be some shit that's demonic, no?
He has called that suggestion absurd and false, and like everybody involved in this, all strenuously.
We haven't go through all of them yet.
Yes, the previous administrations had access to these files, but they did not run their administrations on releasing them. The reason that people focus on Trump is that he is the sitting president of the United States. I only see MAGA defending people.
Wait. I'm confused. Wait, I'm so confused. Is there reports of that? Is that what he's saying that he had to do? Is there reports of the other division not running like that? What do you mean run it like that? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
Denying any involvement in anything, certainly anything wrong, and very definitely nothing criminal. And actually, these files bear that out. We heard Todd Blanche.
I mean, he ran what? Let's see how you're going to cope yourself out of this. Link.
What do you mean he ran what? Oh, they ran the campaign to become president as they would release it. Oh, so that is worse than running in the shadows and on not releasing them. I mean, clearly that's Yo, W Biden then. I mean, no! This is fuck everybody! What is wrong with you?
Donald Trump's personal lawyer and Deputy Attorney General sort of releasing these latest batch of documents saying that there is no evidence here of co-conspirators. If there was, he said, we would be prosecuting those individuals. The trouble with all of this, of course, we were told last year that there were a potential 6 million documents they were looking at. Now we're told they have finished with the release of 3.5 million of them. So somewhere 2.5 million haven't been released. For the Justice Department, they will say that's because they're irrelevant.
Oh, because it was in the middle of the investigation. How long is this investigation? Buddy, these people are fucking old.
The Epstein files.
The only enemy these people have is time. Time is their only enemy. If the investigation takes fucking 20 years against these 70-year-old people, they are dead by the time you get justice. You're brain dead. Do something. Fucking actually get the fucking work done, loser motherfucker. Oh, we're investigating some of this shit. Like, it's been fucking like 15 years, dude.
Or legally confident.
What are they gonna get? They're gonna get life 5 times when they have fucking 9 years left to live on Earth? What a joke!
Confidential or need to be redacted to protect victims. For those who see conspiracy in that, in any of this, they will say they're being withheld precisely for that reason, to continue the cover-up. And so, of course, I think as much as the Justice Department, as much as the Trump administration wants to draw a line, I think this is very unlikely to do so.
Yeah, we've seen Gloria Allred there saying that, in fact, identities have been released also for the first time. And a call from a lot of those people also for just more material to come out. Do you know whether there's any legal...
I mean, these FBI people, they're fucking brain dead. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm telling you, you go to some autist fucking Reddit. You post this shit way back in the days. They cracked the case in fucking 10 days. I don't give a fuck when he says, yo, you have a council of fucking pure internet autists, whatever, that actually want to do the work. You censor some of the stuff of the victims. They still crack this shit in less than a month. Fuck you. At this point, everybody's fucking liable for incompetence.